Hey VC, this is Chad. This is an entry in Andrew over at Tales from the Crates 500 subs contest. Congratulations, Andrew, on your 500 subs, well over 500 by now. So he wants us to show some of your favorite cover songs that are kind of genre bending. So I tried not to watch any other videos so I wouldn't do some repeats, but that might happen. So I pulled a few here that are pretty, not necessarily, some are my favorite, but just some strange things, I guess. The first one here is from the Bauhaus, and it's Third Uncle. And that is originally a Brian Eno song off of Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy. And this version, I heard this version before I ever heard Brian Eno, but this one is definitely very, post-punk, goth. Of course, this is They'll Swing the Heartache, the BBC sessions. I had this on CD since I was probably 14 years old or something. So I've heard this Third Uncle cover song so many times, and I probably didn't even know it was a cover until 10 years ago or something. So check out Brian Eno and Bauhaus. So the next one here is what I'm listening to now, and this is a cover of Joy Division's Love Will Tear Us Apart, and this is the band The Swans. This EP is pretty interesting because there are two different versions on each side. One is called the red version, and that is what you hear now, if you can hear it. It's actually sung by the Swans vocalist Michael Gira. It's actually surprisingly more upbeat than the original. So, which is, if you're familiar with the Swans, they're very, at times they've gone all over the place, industrial, folk, just noise rock, and they're usually pretty abrasive and bleak. So this song is very optimistic. It sounds more hopeful to me than the original. And the other song has Jarbo, who is a frequent collaborator with the Swans. She has a beautiful, haunting voice, and it's just her doing a cover of it, and it's really great. I couldn't pick which one, but I really like the Swans, so I would definitely check this one out. And the two other songs on here are great as well. So, Swans. So here's a one out of left field. This is the band Thrones, and the cover on here that I picked is called Django. And what Django is a cover of the Western movie theme song Django, written by Luis Baklava, I think so. And that is like a spaghetti Western, pretty famous in Italy. So the cover song is really awesome. If you're not familiar with Thrones, this is the project of famous noise bass player Joe Preston from Portland or Seattle, one of those places. Joe Preston was he played bass for the Melvins. He's currently touring with the new ISIS band with forget their name, but he plays really loud, like he does touring by himself, and he plays Like he'll have a drum machine and just himself, like really loud bass and lots of effects pedals. Really interesting stuff. He has a good bit of records on. This one is on Kill Rock Stars. He has another one on Kill Rock Stars, a few on Southern Lord Records, just some cool stuff. So this cover, I really love this cover of Django though. It's the drum machine is what I was trying to say. Really, it's all sung in Spanish, I believe, or I guess Italian. So I'm not exactly sure. I think it's Italian, but Django, that's a really awesome cover song on here. So here is one that I really wasn't a big fan of this song on this album. I'm not sure why. It's kind of grown on me. I've had some arguments about it, but with some friends. Anyways, the record is Into the Pandemonium, and it's by Celtic Frost, and the song is Mexican Radio by Wall of Voodoo, I believe. The crazy thing about it is, that's like a new wave rock song, and Celtic Frost is, genre metal, like pretty interesting cover, especially to lead off your album. It's the first track on the A side. So Mexican Radio, it's a cover song you might enjoy from Celtic Frost. It's kind of grown on me over the past year or so, but this is a pretty good record. I think it sounds like Christian Death, but a lot of people disagree. So it's not my favorite Celtic Frost record, but it's still good. So check it out. How about this guy? You probably are familiar with him. This is the wanker known as Sid Vicious. Of course, this song was popular in the movie Sid and Nancy. Gary Oldman was awesome as Sid Vicious. But there are actually on this record, this is Sid Sings, or Sid Vicious. I think this is like an EP, and there are actually 2 or 3 more. I think these are all covers actually. He does Born to Lose from Johnny Thunders, I Want to Be Your Dog, Take a Chance on Me, Stepping Stone. But the one that I think, those all sound pretty much like they were originally written. The one that you're familiar with, mostly I've seen it in car commercials, is My Way. I think, or I don't know if it wasn't written by, but it was made famous from Frank Sinatra. And Sid Vicious kind of made it his own. There are there's a other Johnny Thunder song on here. There's Search and Destroy from the Stooges, Chinese Rocks from Johnny Thunders and Ramones, and a few other covers on here. So this record is pretty cheap, so it's kind of entertaining if you like the Sex Pistols and punk and whatnot. This was cool stuff when I was 12 years old, but I don't really put this on too much, but I like that cover of My Way. It's kind of entertaining. So Sid Vicious, My Way. Here's one I pulled out just to kind of have a different genre. This is the greatest hits from Grace Jones, and I love this cover of this record. She looks really awesome. And the coolest thing I've found out about this is that this was made in the 80s, like 85 or so, and this is actually a collage of many different photos that they put together to create this cover. It does look like one singular piece, but it's actually there's a thing online you can find that actually shows them. This was before the computer age, so it's pretty amazing to me that they put this together. It looks like a real staged photo. So anyways, the reason I pulled this one out is because of Love is a Drug. Love is a Drug is from Bryan Ferry, and there was actually another song on here on their Warm Leatherette record that I was going to pull out. She did a cover of Tom Petty's Breakdown, which is pretty cool. But Love is a Drug is a great Bryan Ferry song, but this one, Grace Jones makes it her own. There's some kind of like a dub influence, like new wave, just some dance music. I think it's pretty cool, so check it out. Grace Jones, Love is the Drug. And the last one I pulled out here is, I don't know how genre bending it is, but it's one of my favorite covers, and it's the cover of Oasis Wonderwall, and it's on the record Love Is Hell by Ryan Adams. And this was originally released as two separate records. I had it on CD, and then I think there's maybe a 10-inch or something. This is a LP box set, a MoFi, and I think this is still in print. You can still get it, but the cover of Wonderwall on here is really great, really sparse. His voice is really great. Ryan Adams, I really like a lot. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that or shown that before, but I think it's pretty accessible to a lot of people out there. So I do like Oasis, but I do like this cover of Wonderwall. So that's about it. So those are my covers that I picked out. Andrew, congratulations again, everybody. I'm sure you already were subbed to Tales from the Crate, but check it out if not. Thanks.